What is up, everybody, and welcome into Bama After Dark. And yes, it's thrown together. Uh, did not really have time to put up a stream today to get it out there real quick for for you guys, give y'all some time to join. So I'll give y'all a few minutes, but yeah, I just got home, took a quick shower, threw this, added everything in, threw it together, and yeah, so sorry about that. I was actually running behind today, coming in from work. There's a wreck on the major road that I travel, and so I had to snake my way through and get past it. So I was running a few minutes behind anyway. But yeah, this is Bama After Dark, and what I'm going to do tonight and is cover the defensive side of the ball, depth chart wise. Last week I did a live that showed, the offensive side of the ball. Now we're going to get into the defense. Rick and Bonnie, good to have you tonight. Power's out in South Huntsville. That's interesting. I have not heard of anything happening unless there was a wreck or something. Knowing how Huntsvillians drive, it would not surprise me. But thanks for being on. Thank you all for listening and tuning in. So yeah, this is Bama After Dark. Unless I put it on the wrong, it's on the Bama After Dark. So this is actually streaming on Bama After Dark, but it's also right now streaming on Tide Talk Live, also on Off Season After Dark. It's on Biscuits and SEC. All the channels that's on the After Dark network, it's streaming on right now. So however you're watching, thank you for watching. And let's jump right into it. So the defensive side of the ball. Now, early on, I really think this defense is going to be legit this year. And the reason I say that is because it's very deep. It's very experienced. It's very deep. And one guy I think is going to help elevate the defense to that next level where it's not been in several years is a guy that's going to be starting out at Bandit this year, and that's LT Overton. Now, LT Overton last year, there was something that come out that he missed like 23% of his tackles, maybe even more than that, last year. If he just corrects a little bit of that, and a lot of those were in the backfield on quarterbacks or tackles for losses on the quarterback or running back. If he just cleans that up a little bit, that dude could have 10 sacks on the season. Now, it's not really a bold prediction, but I really think that LT Overton gets it figured out, and he does have 10 to 12 sacks in the season. But that Bandit position by itself is really deep as well. Behind him, you got a guy who we brought in from Florida and Kelby Collins. Now, Kelby's going to get on the field. I mean, he's a good player. He's going to see some real good playing time as well. Probably spell LT for a time or two, but I think LT is going to be playing nearly every down because he's just too talented to be and a pass rusher. You can't really take him off the field in any situation. At nose tackle, everybody knows that Tim Keenan thankfully has come back for his senior year. I love Tim Keenan. Guy gives 110% every single game and every single play. And I really feel like he's going to have another solid year as well. He really gets overlooked a little bit. Really, his leadership there on the interior is what shines about Tim Keenan. I feel like he's going to have a very good year and set himself up for probably a late second, third round pick in the NFL draft. Might be a little reach, but I feel like if he has a great year this year, he can definitely, turn some heads, especially in the combine, and make a late second, third round pick per se. But Rick and Bonnie, what do you guys think on the defensive line? We've still got one position to go, and that is the other they call defensive tackle. But that is James Smith, and James Smith really came on last year. Really, really great player, and I feel like having a year of starting under his belt and being the main cog there at they call it the defensive tackle, he is going to be really, really great and have a big year there. I really also I got to keep in mind that I feel like we'll see some playing time this year, and that is Keon Keeley. Keon Keeley, everybody knows his story. He come in, he was kind of, you know, out of shape for a position of like a pass rusher per se. So, and was too small to be like an attack guy. So this coaching staff had to figure out, okay, we want to just keep him in the middle, or we want him to go after the, pass rush and all that. So he's worked on, getting muscle, getting built. I think he's like 285 now. The dude's solid. And I really feel like Keon Keeley is going to have a breakout year as well. He may not see a lot of playing time at first, but when he's on the field, I feel like he's going to make his chances or make all of his chances count and definitely see a lot more playing time as the season progresses. Rick and Bonnie, okay, and Vandy tore up our defense last year. Yeah, hopefully they got some film on that game, and they can definitely work things out for the better this year. That little shovel pass that they ran like every other play against us and got 100 yards out of it every single time they ran it. That's not happening this year. No doubt about it. It's not happening. I'll just go ahead and say that right now. Diego Pavia is going to have to play an A++ game this year in order for Vandy to win. I'm that confident that this defense is going to get things straightened out. I think it was a bad defensive game plan more than anything. Maybe it was, and maybe it was a combination of the team overlooking Vandy. I mean, it's just be honest, it's Vandy, and I can see how you overlook Vandy for your next week's opponent. But me and Stacy, whenever we talk on Tide Talk Live, we have stressed time and time again, you cannot overlook anybody in this conference. I understand Vandy has been terrible for several years, but a player like Diego Pavia does make that team a lot better than what that team has been in the last several years. And I really think we just didn't take that game to heart, and a lot of things just went wrong early on in that game. I mean, we just let them drive right down the field. I think they scored a touchdown the first like 2 or 3 possessions. I know they did, because it was like 14-0 before we had a chance to blink our eyes. The pick six also happened early on the game, so it would just snowball from the start. It's not happening this year. Vandy is going to have to play an A++ game to win in Bryant-Denny. I'm just telling y'all, this defense is going to be ready for that one, and that game's probably been marked on the calendars for a while. Moving on to another, it's in a linebacker, but it's on the line, and I'm going to add it here, is the wolf position, and this is where Quay Russaw is going to be playing. And what can I say about this kid? This kid is electric. Russaw was all over the field last year in his time when he was playing. He can rush the quarterback. He can cover the running backs out in the flats. He's fast enough to track down somebody if they get past, behind him a little ways. So he's got good sideline to sideline speed. I think Q is going to have a huge year. I'm going to say he's going to have a lot of tackles for loss. He's going to have a lot of opportunity for that. And he'll probably have several sacks as well. LT Overton, Q Russo on that defensive line, dangerous stuff. But don't sleep on James Smith and Tim Keenan. Those guys are outstanding as well. But yeah, moving to the mock position, you're going to have Justin Jefferson. Those guys. He's fast too. It's just call it. He can also track down a running back out of the flat, can track down a tight end and a route, can track down a quarterback if he starts to scramble. So you see what kind of defense, especially that linebacker, the outside guys that they want to run here at Alabama. They have elite speed. That way they can get sideline to sideline. And you can't stress that enough, especially when you have good rushing attack, especially in the SEC. You need somebody that can cover the outside, not lose containment. Those guys can definitely do that. Rusall, Jefferson, all these guys. And moving into the sting position at linebackers, of course, Deontay Lawson. Now, Lawson coming back was huge for this team because when he went down last year, we lost our signal caller for the defense. When you have a guy that is experienced like Deontay Lawson and can look at the sideline and see Coach Womack and say they just caught an audible, Coach Womack calls in the play, hey, he can get everybody set before the play is snapped. We kind of lost that late in the season when he got hurt, especially in the bowl game against Michigan. It was not good. So yeah, having him back is really going to help elevate this defense. And one thing about this linebacking core that's really going to help is what we haven't really talked about, and that's the secondary. This secondary is going to be so talented and so deep that these linebackers are going to have to worry about what's behind them because they know they're going to be covered with this secondary. The secondary is going to be one of the best that we've had in a long time. Rick and Bonnie, just going to ask you guys, how do you feel about Lawson coming back? I'm sure y'all was happy about that as much as I was. Just for the leadership aspect of it, and you got to have leadership on the field, and feel like we gained some leadership after the Vandy debacle and after the Oklahoma debacle, but I think this is a close-knit unit, and I really feel like this defense is going to surprise people on how good they're going to be this year. So let me know your thoughts on the linebacker core and the defensive front. I really love these two units. I really think they're going to show up and show out this year. I really think LT Overton is going to make that next step where he's not making mistakes and missing tackles as much as he was last year. When he gets the opportunity to bring a guy down, he's going to bring the guy down. Q is just going to be all over the field like he is. Justin Jefferson is going to be all over the field. Deontay Lawson is going to be that cog in the middle and get the play in to everybody. And then you have your surrounding support players who's just going to be outstanding as well. Moving on to probably the deepest part of the defense, and that is the secondary. I mean, you look at corner to corner, the two corner spots. You got Damani Jackson, who is just absolutely he's an incredible player. Chad Shoemate, Roll Tide from Savannah, Georgia. Nice. Thank you for joining. And I would love to get to Savannah, Georgia one day. I heard it's very beautiful over there. I've only drove through it one time, but didn't get a chance to stay. So I want to get over there and visit one day. So I might be able to see you out there. Thanks for joining tonight. Rick and Bonnie, I think DeBoer's second year will make a difference for sure. I think DeBoer is more comfortable now, and he knows the pressure that's on him. And I really feel like Not Bonnie, Rick and Bonnie, yeah, the players will be more bought in. I think you seen that already when nobody, transferred out in the spring portal. So everybody on this team has bought into the coaching staff, and I think that speaks for how this coaching staff sees itself with its players and how the players see them and what the common goal is. We know the common goal at Alabama is championships. Coach DeBoer knows that when he signed, took this job. I mean, he knew the foundation was laid from Saban. Win championships. That's what's going to drive and keep the fans happy. It's a terrible, 9-3 season. On my show on SEC After Dark, I'm on record. I was fine with the 9-3 season, but I'm more realistic than others. I'm happy that I've got to see 6 championships, really 7 championships in my lifetime. If that's the last I ever see, then so be it. I've seen that. There's a lot of fan bases out there who would love to see a 9-3 season. I mean, we could be Auburn right now and win 5 games a year, for the last 4 or 5 years. So I kind of keep it level headed. Now, I love winning championships. Don't get me wrong on that. And I love winning 10, 11, 12 games. But realistically, there was a ceiling for that team last year, and 9-3 was that ceiling. I really feel like, but this year's team is different, and we talked about it on the offense side of the ball last week. There's a new the quarterback play, and I'm not going to beat up on Jalen Milroe because he's a 3rd round pick, and he's athletic, he's an athletic god, but we made some boneheaded, mistakes by play calling and by play last year on the offensive side of the ball. This year's going to be different. Ty Simpson brings a unique style that he's not going to be as athletic. He's going to be more, I would say, more accurate with his throws. He may not be as powerful, but he's going to be more accurate. So this team is bought into championship or bust, and I really feel like that this year. Justin Sumlin is from Ashland, Alabama. Thank you, Justin, for joining. Glad to have you all here. But yeah, we're talking about the defense. If you're just now joining, we talked about the defensive depth chart for the defensive line. LT Overton, I feel like is going to have a great year. He's going to correct his mistakes, and when he has an opportunity to make the tackle, he's not going to miss it, and he's going to make them. And I feel like he's going to have at least 10 to 12 sacks on the year. And we talked about Quay Russaw. Russaw is just an amazing linebacker, and him going down last year really hurt the team. And Deontay Lawson, the leadership play was his leadership and him being the signal caller, losing that really hurt late in the season as well. That's really where we left off at. I started talking about the secondary. Rick and Bonnie said the SC Media Days player looked huge. Yeah, they and what I love about it is they're not talking smack. They just said, all the disrespect would be handled on the field, and I feel like the Kevin DeBoer is letting them do a little bit more and say a little bit more things than what Saban would have liked. But I feel like DeBoer and this coaching staff has the same mentality that Saban left. Let you play, play out on the field. Let your talk be on the field. Don't trash talk nobody. And come Saturday afternoon, we handle business on the field. And I really feel like that's what's going to happen this year. Let me get to the secondary real quick, and then I'll do some more questions from from you guys if you got anything. And tell me some stuff you want to talk about. I still got, a month away from football, really, because the 29th, I believe, of August, Auburn is playing Baylor on that Friday night. So yeah, we're just a month away from football today. And yes, I hope Baylor does beat the crap out of Auburn. I'll just go ahead and say that. But secondary, guys, the secondary is, like I said, the deepest it's been. and I was talking about Damani Jackson being at one corner, Xavier Brown being at the other corner. Now, Xavier Brown was a true freshman last year, and that kid was thrown in a situation, and he became a household name just like that. And y'all know what I'm talking about. That interception against Georgia put him on the map and really set his career off. One of the biggest plays at that time in the season, and he made it. And you could see how talented that kid's going to be. I think we did our live show, me and Stacey did on Tide Talk Live a few weeks ago. Might have been last weekend or weekend before last. But I had a bold prediction. I say Xavier Brown has at least 5 to 7 interceptions this year. I really feel like he's going to get a lot more attention because Damani Jackson is also what they call pretty much a shutdown corner. You're not going to see a lot of balls his way. You may see a few, but Brown's going to get a lot of that attention. So behind those two guys, you bring back Keon Sabb. Keon Sabb went down. I think it was in the Tennessee game. It kind of hurt a little bit because, first of the year, I think he had 3 interceptions the first 2 games. I mean, he come out like a blaze of fire, and he just absolutely, started turning heads in Tuscaloosa, and everybody got behind him. Then the injury happened, and just having that guy back at I think they're going to have him build out as a safety, and then the Husky is going to be Deshaun Jones. But again, there's 3 guys really you can watch there to make some kind of impact. Red Morgan, you saw a little bit of him last year, and Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. Now that's so hard for me to fathom that a guy I grew up watching play Alabama football now has a son playing Alabama football. But yeah, those guys, and then the true freshman phenom, Dijon Lee. I really feel like you're going to see him come on this year. The guy I haven't really talked about yet, Bray Hubbard. Bray Hubbard stepped in to where when Keon Sabb went down. I really love Bray Hubbard's work ethic. I really love the way he plays. He just has that edge about him. And he's a go-getter. He sees the ball, he's going after the ball, he's going to light you up. And he makes the play the correct way. So having the secondary with Damani Jackson, with Xavier Brown at corners, you got 2 lockdown corners. Then you have 2 safeties who are top 10 in the, probably top 5 at the safety positions in college football, and Bray Hubbard and Keon Sabb. Then you have the Husky position and Deshaun Jones. This team on the defensive side, especially secondary, is loaded. And I really feel like these guys are going to make a huge impact. And I'm not going to say they're going to be, what was it, 2018 Georgia, whichever one it was, where they only gave up 8 points a game. I don't think with this style of football you're going to ever see that great of a defense again. But I will say I think this defense is going to hold opponents between 14 and 17 points a game, maybe less than that. They have that potential. But it's got to play out on the field, and everybody's got to stay healthy. Behind some of these guys, the defensive line, we do have, some guys who have some experience. Edric Hill has played a little bit. He's the backup to James Smith, so you'll see him play a little bit. I've already talked about Kelby Collins behind the Bandit. Also talked about Jordan Renaud. You could see him come into play as well. Jeremiah Brown, that's a name that I feel like we need to watch. Jeremiah Beeman, my bad. That kid is going to be something special. I really feel like Team Keenan is going to be the guy, but you'll see Beeman get his shot on somewhere on that defensive line, and you'll see what he's capable of, and he's going to be ready to be that main guy next year on the defensive line. Him and James Smith. So Jeremiah Beeman's upside is definitely legit. I'm excited to see what he can do. You saw a little bit in the bowl game, of him playing some snaps. I'm really excited about him. Two guys I've already mentioned. One, Keon Keeley, to keep an eye on him. I really feel like he's finally making his way and going to start getting his way onto the field a lot more. Another guy who's got a lot of upside, and he's still young, we haven't really saw yet, and that is Yhonzae Pierre. I really think Pierre is going to be another guy that we see get some meaningful snaps on the defense side of the ball this year. I keep those two guys in mind. Stacy on our show mentioned Zay Mincy in the secondary. You could see him potentially push Keon Sav for that strong safety position. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, this defense is absolutely going to be nasty this year. And if they stay healthy, I think that's the biggest issue for me for Justin Jefferson, for Q, and for Deontay Lawson is, can they stay away from the injury bug? If those three guys can stay away from the injury bug and everybody else does the same, yeah, this defense is going to be scary good. And I don't think people realize how good they're going to be. And I really think you're going to see that the first game of the year, because right now, as it stands, they've got bulletin board material because Thomas Castellanos just keeps running that mouth and keeps running that mouth. So be it. So let him keep running that mouth. We take care of our business on the field. And I hope we bring that mindset into that game a month from now. But yeah, guys, we've got training camp. I think, spring fall camp starts in a few days, maybe next week. So we'll have some stuff to talk about. But yeah, I've got the depth chart out of the way. I've got a few minutes here. Chad, Rick, Justin, you guys won't have a position that you're excited about. I know everybody's ready to see what Ty Simpson can do. Or do you guys feel like it's going to be Ty Simpson's team, or do you feel like Keelan Russell could potentially push him in fall camp? How do you see the quarterback battle playing out? I really feel like it's going to be Ty's team. Keelan is the future, but it's going to be his team next year, because I really feel like Ty is going to play well enough to get a pretty good draft pick, and kind of like a Mac Jones type deal. So yeah, what do you think? What do you guys think about the depth chart, about the team in general? Do y'all feel like this is a championship or bust season? Because I really do feel like that, because this team is so loaded right now, and we're losing a lot of players next year. So the mentality is, you don't rebuild, you reload at Alabama. We're going to do a lot of reloading after this year. I think I saw there's 22 eligible players for the draft next year, and that's including underclassmen, maybe more than that, maybe 27. So yeah, it's going to be a huge thing next year. We're going to have a lot of inexperienced players, but we're still going to have some key cogs that will still be there. That's going to help things. But yeah, I really feel like this is going to be the year that Alabama can surprise some people and win a national championship. Now, do I think they're going to go 10-2 or 11-1, 12-0? I'm thinking 10-2, and I think, depending on how it goes, it's so hard to say. But of course, that Georgia game at Georgia is looming. But they got question marks at quarterback as well. They did bring in a lot of, help around him. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, you guys got any question before I jump off here? My little girl is about to drive me insane. She wants dad to get in the rocking chair with her and watch some TV. So you guys got anything else? And I'll give y'all just a few minutes to put something in the chat that, and we'll touch on. If not, then I'm going to jump off here and I'll be back next week. If you guys like me doing it on Tuesday nights, I tried to do it last night. I didn't get time, and I was trying to get a link built up today during work, but I got slammed at work. I didn't have a chance to do it. So sorry for the late notice to jump on and talk to you guys. Next week's show, how about this? Since I got 10 of you guys on here listening, Rick, Bonnie, Justin, Chad, and whoever else is the other 10, let's do a show dedicated to you guys. Tell me some topics you want me to talk about next week. I'll go live. You get on here. You can send me some topics on Bama After Dark at Bama After Dark right there. My username. You can send me a private message there, or my other Twitter as whatever account is Jake Thomas TTS. Send me something there. I'd love to talk about it. But yeah, I want to make a show out to you guys. Let's talk about anything you want to talk about. Alabama, Alabama football is king. But if you want me to look at the basketball program, for next year, which I'm very excited about as well. How about Nate Oates, man? I can't say enough about Nate Oates and what he's done at Alabama. We still need to give him a new arena. Still need to give him a blank check every single year and let him fill it out. If it's for, $40 billion, we'll raise the money somehow, but he deserves every penny of it. But yeah, let me know what you want to talk about next week. I'll let you guys dictate how I want to run the show. I am going to put a link out this weekend. That way, give you some time to get on and know that Tuesday I'm not just going to jump on and say, "Oh, here I am on live." I'm sorry. It's going to be, from the weekend, Monday, and then Tuesday about 5:30. I'll jump right back on here. We'll have us a nice talk, and fall practice is tomorrow. Wow, it's actually sooner than what I thought. I was thinking it was next week when it started, but yeah, show dedicated to you guys next week, and then I may throw in a little bit of fall practice, some stuff we may be hearing out there as well. But you guys are going to run the show next week. I owe it to you guys. Thank you all for listening. I will be back Thursday night on this show here on SEC After Dark. The 6 panel boys, 7 really, whenever we all get back. But football season just right around the corner, guys. I'll be back next Tuesday night. I love you guys. Thank you all for listening. I'll be back. This has been Bama After Dark, and we'll see y'all next time. And roll Tide.